we are live.
Alrighty, man. This is a new feel for talking growth.
Ain't it? How you been, bro?
I've been good, man. It's been a long ride since, even though we got like only 3 interviews that we've done, but since we started, I'd say we've come a long way from this.
Dude, we come very far in
Yeah.
a short amount of time. And I want to say I appreciate you because the level of professionalism that you bring to this show and bring to the back office of this show, hey man, you're second to none for sure.
Dude, the thing about starting a podcast, this is my first ever podcast. I know you've done
Yeah,
a
I've
couple
done-
of your own.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the way that I see it is like we got to make sure that we show up and show out.
Hey,
You know?
let me show up and show.
Exactly. So today's a very special kind of episode that we wanted to launch.
Yep.
And it's not an interview with anyone. It's what we're going to be talking about is our journey from when we started this podcast. So
From the idea.
anyone, right, exactly. Anyone that is looking to start their own podcast can see like the actual behind the works and behind the scenes
Yep.
with just two guys that are trying to, make this work for everybody.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. And also to show the people that, you too can, just like you said, you too can start a podcast. But if you do it, don't do it like I did in the beginning where you just throw something together out there, you just press record and really have no concepts, and
Right.
have no reasoning behind the things
Right.
that you're recording. So
Well, a lot of behind the scenes of what we've been doing is there was a lot of planning that was involved.
yeah.
So it's what you see on Instagram with all the reels and the shorts, and what you see with all the videos that you are seeing. That takes some time. That takes
Oh my
some
goodness.
effort.
Dude, yeah.
And you could see that when when we tried to swap and you were trying to play with it.
Yeah.
It
And
puts
that,
in
that's why I was saying it was a humbling experience when I tried to go do all of the editing and all the cuts and all that, because my schedule is so busy that I didn't realize how many hours it really takes to get there and make all the right cuts, add the right words to everything, and then delete the words out of everything.
Right.
Like you're a master of that. And so for those out
Yeah.
there who are looking to start a podcast, make sure you got a good IT guy or a good editing team behind you as well.
The biggest part I'd say is getting that routine of, what do we need to bring to the table before we launch the next episode? I think we're still at that point right now where we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we're still on launching pad. We haven't soared off yet. And we're getting close though. Shout out to all the followers and all the
Yeah.
people who are listening and watching, and the viewership and subscribers.
Right.
Like we can't do this without you, and we truly appreciate you guys for sure.
And another shout out to all the business owners that we've interviewed so far. Shout out to Robbie, shout out to Micah, and shout out to Jen.
Yep.
They've been great guests for the radio and the podcast itself. Learning from them, I've actually felt like I've learned a lot. I don't know about you.
Oh my goodness, yeah, dude. I learn a lot from these interviews, and I'm also learning that some of the things that I've done I'm doing it the right way, and some of the things that I've done in the past, I'm doing it wrong, and I need to change certain things and concepts and aspects of me and in my business.
It's actually crazy because you see how everyone acts and or thinks in different ways that we would have never known to try it this way or
Right.
use what they've learned and taught us to think of it in a different light or things like that.
And that's why we do it, because we need different perspectives and different outlooks on
Yeah.
business and just interpersonal connections and conversations. And we can't do that with just us. I mean, we could sit here all day and have a podcast between me and you,
Right.
but it'll just be my way of thinking and your way of thinking. And then like there wouldn't be any room for really growth. And that's what this podcast
Right.
is about. It's about growth. And we want to invite the community, you guys out there. If you know anybody that is a business owner or an aspiring business owner and would like to be on this show, make sure you shout them out and DM us, send them our episodes. We'd love to have more people on.
Right. The more people that we get on the show, the more exclusive and more real, genuine content that you see, especially navigating through, your entrepreneurial journey.
Right. And then the more people we have on, the more audiences we can reach, because then their core audience, we can engage with those different people, and we can have the different, like I said, perspectives of other people's business types and things like
Right.
that.
So how has the experience for you of starting a podcast has been?
Ooh, child. Like I said, I've started podcasts before, but this one is, I'm the most excited about this one because we're doing it right, right? And I'm just looking forward to the journey in the future of it just growing exponentially. I know we're gonna monetize this, but we're not necessarily doing it for the money. We're doing it for the cause. We're doing it to spread awareness and show what it's really like on the inside of entrepreneurship and what it's like on the inside of building a podcast from scratch, baby.
Exactly. And you could see that, like, when we first started, it was just an idea. And shout out to KKCR,
Yeah, shout out
for being the
KKCR.
first people to actually see the value in what we're going to be giving to the community. And this podcast is not meant to just reach people in Kauai, although like we are trying to make it specific to people in Kauai to learn from business owners and entrepreneurs in the community. But you could also take this learned lesson from wherever you live. If you live in the East Coast or the West Coast, if you live in Oahu or Maui
Or a different country.
or a different
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. For a while. So what about you? How do you feel about the journey so far, man? You
Yeah.
go ahead.
I didn't realize how much work it's going to take.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't think of it as just as a passion project, because to me it's more like reaching an audience that can really learn from each other. I don't think that many people try to teach each other things, because a lot of us in our own ways, we tend to keep things to ourselves so that we can continue to progress for ourselves.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like we
That's
always
a
want
scarcity
to.
mindset. A lot of us have that. Yeah, we don't want
Exactly.
anybody to take our ideas or steal our concepts. Yeah, I get that.
And like we encourage people to engage and tell us what you could see as an improvement, especially how we're doing things. Like
Yep.
like you could see definitely, if you are watching the video version from YouTube, you could see how this entire podcast setup now is. We have a red curtain in the background and we have a long black table. So we're trying to improve as much as we can.
Yep.
And no matter how much we do improve, we want to make sure that it aligns with the people that are listening.
100%. Well said, my brethren. And also having growth as the concept in all things, whether it's mentality, spirituality, entrepreneurship, just interpersonal skills, like everybody needs that. Like we all need that. Me and you even need that.
Right.
And so the people that are listening, hopefully we bring that to the table and constantly with the growth and development of this show.
Right, exactly. Like if you are interested in starting a podcast, one of the things I definitely have seen for myself that, since starting is my ability to communicate with people has been a lot better.
It's
The way,
practice.
exactly. And the way that I've interviewed people with Foster, that, knowing what to say to the guest is very important, because you don't want to have the same repetitive questions. You don't want to make anyone feel bad or make anyone feel aggressive towards what
you
you're
want it to
saying.
seem like it's a conversation. It wants to be in the conversation. It's not like we're on the news, right? And we're grilling
Right.
people. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. So, as you can see, our podcast is more of a fun, friendly way of introducing business to people.
Yep.
And it's, take it for what it is. And, there's some business tips scattered around through each episode that we do have.
All right.
It's like main concepts that we've probably talked about is vetting. And another thing is confidence and clarity with, conflict.
Yep. Yep.
So it's that scarcity mindset, like you're saying, is that we need to make sure that we can grow out of it.
Yeah.
And
break
that's what
those
talking
boundaries.
growth is.
Yep. 100%. I agree. Say it like a true scholar, my guy.
It's not easy to start one, as you can see here,
it's
right?
not. It's not easy. But things that are great and things that are worthwhile aren't easy, right? Just like some of the best basketball players in the world, like, say Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, like the work that they put in was some of the most excruciating work that you had to do, some of the most painful work that you had to do, some of the most repetitive work that you got to do. So we want to put forth and show the people out there, if you want to have something good and of quality, you got to put in the work, and the work's not going to be easy.
Right, exactly. And the work too is not going to pay you off right away.
Oh no. Matter of fact, this show we've put more money out times 1,000,000 than we've got that came in. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. Like the amount of investment that we had to start with to even put this entire, set that, thank God that Foster has a second part of his house
Yeah.
that
yeah.
would be able to set this studio up. And we plan on bringing more guests here, and as well as the radio station to provide better content. For
Right,
people.
100%. And if anybody out there, that wants to help sponsor this Talking Growth, like maybe you got some extra cameras or extra mics or extra anything, and you want to be a part of this, please reach out and DM us, and we'll be happy to accept any help from any angles.
Right. And then adding on top of that, if you do have any, business owner friends, or if you're a business owner yourself, we definitely would love to see what you guys could speak about, because we want to know your perspective.
The
So,
ins and outs, the ups and downs, the do's and the don'ts, baby.
right, exactly. Where do you see Talking Growth going from where we are now?
Honest opinion,
Yeah.
to the moon, baby. I see us being literally the top 3
Oh, man.
entrepreneurship podcasts out there. Not because we are any different than any of the podcasts, but because we're genuine and authentic, and I think that's what the people need. We're tired of these scripted shows and these reality TV show type things taking over the airways. We're here.
Right.
We're really trying to help the people.
And you could really see that compared to the other podcasts that are out there. Though, a lot of them are pretty genuine. Like, if you follow other entrepreneurship podcasts, like they talk about money and all that. But you go and look at enough of them that you start to see that they talk about the same
It's
things
kind of
over and over.
Yeah. Also, too, for the people out there listening, if you have any suggestions for us or any feedback, we would love any of that. You can give it in the comments. You can DM us. You can email us and let us know how you really feel about what we're doing and how we can improve.
Exactly. And we do appreciate your feedback completely.
100%.
What we will say too is you'll occasionally see episodes like this. You'll see that when we start growing this page or following for our podcast, that everything that we're doing is meant to give a light to a specific topic too. So, we probably haven't gone through this. Foster knows a lot about business law, and, we can talk about a lot about branding and, about marketing and digital marketing, advertisements, all that.
Right.
Some of these little clips of how we talk about things are more related to our specialties. And we do encourage people when we have interviews to talk about what they're good at, or say if there's a specific topic that they want to introduce and dive into that specific thing.
Right. And before I get out of here, I want to make sure that I emphasize on the fact that if somebody's listening to this show and you're thinking about, oh man, I want to start a business and I don't know what to do, reach out to me, because everybody has a business idea. You don't have to necessarily have a product or have some kind of grandiose idea, but you can incorporate yourself and become a business and continue to do exactly what you do on a daily basis and turn that into a corporation. Okay. And I'll give you the seeds and the gems of how to do that and how to do that properly. So you just got to reach out and let me know.
The biggest problem with entrepreneurship is that there are too many people with ideas and there are less people that execute.
Action, action, action. That's what we're missing sometimes.
And action really speaks louder than words. And you could see that, like, anyone that has started any type of business, even this, we put money down on the line to make sure we create something that's valuable, and we're still trying to get as more value as we can. Like, who knows where this thing ends up going? It might end up working out. It might end up flopping. But the matter is that you have to start and you have to execute
100%.
no matter what you're doing, even if it's just a podcast.
And on top of that, like you said, we put money down and invested in this. The most valuable thing that we put into this is time, guys. And that's one thing you're going to have to set aside. And if you're looking to start anything, whether it be a podcast or a business, is allocate your time properly. Even if you only give 5 minutes out the day towards that goal or towards that dream that you have, you're going to see results eventually. You just got to put the time in, and you got to make sure you're allocating your time properly, because we waste a lot of time, especially with the social media scrolling and the way of the world. I'm guilty of it. I sit there and I like to just doze off a couple of times. But if you really want any type of success in your life, if you want any type of growth, make sure you're looking at how you utilize your time, guys.
Right. Time management's the biggest thing when it
fact.
comes to anything like personal development, growth mindset, all those things.
Talk that talk.
And talking growth is a lot of it is related to that growth mindset. It's a lot of it is how can you get out of that funk, to be able to start your business, or even when you already have a business, how can you grow it?
Right.
There are times, say, in my business that I feel like I need to pause because
Take a breath.
right, not only take a
Regroup.
breath, but you have to look at how your business is functioning, and do you see yourself running that business in that direction?
Mm.
That's the biggest hurdle I'd say with Kawaii growth that I have right now,
Okay.
is that I'm getting enough business consulting clients and I'm getting enough, web design clients that I want, but it's all in the matter of like, how do I actually mold it so that the system is better,
Optimizing.
optimize it, not just through Google.
Mm.
I could do that for you, by
Yeah.
the way, but it's also optimizing how you can efficiently run the business.
Mm.
A perfect example is a process that I worked on my business is taking the document of a proposal and taking the payment in the beginning, merging it into one.
Okay.
And the biggest part is, how much does it cost for a software to be able to provide that?
Right.
So I found one that worked perfectly for me. That process of continuously talking to a client and, the feedback and everything, it could take about 2 to 4 hours before they even make a payment,
Mm.
So why not create a system similar to what I did with mine? And I'm not saying that you have to do the same thing, but
Take notes, guys.
going from creating that proposal, as soon as they signed it, the payment link is already sent. And after I did that, the entire process went from 2 to 4 hours to just 5 minutes.
You streamlined. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So looking at your business from a higher level, not just from like, I gotta go find the next client, I gotta go do this, I gotta go do that. Sometimes in entrepreneurship, you have to learn how to struggle.
Mm.
And struggle is the biggest part that people don't realize
Right.
that makes them grow and
Right.
makes the business successful.
Right. Success is flaunted in our eyes constantly, especially on social media. Everything is like, you want to make, like we talked about in the first episode, you want to make $1 million, follow this guru, this and that and the other. But not a lot of people are talking about, that beginning stages of where it is, like the seed in the dark, the seed that's under the dirt that's growing roots without nobody seeing any leaves or any stems popping out the ground yet.
Right.
And so that is a part of the struggle because you don't know where you're going to go, right?
Right.
And you do have to pull back sometimes to then count up the actual minutes and hours of what you're doing and what the results look like. And then, like you said, is that where you want to go?
Right.
And then make an adjustment according to that.
Here's the biggest problem about these gurus that are online, right? There's a lot of advice that they give that are good. They put it in such a high level that you don't really understand the advice until it's happened.
It goes over most people's head, right?
It goes over most people's head because they think it's such a clear plan that something would happen.
See, I think too that it's a part of their way of operating, right? They give you certain things to make you be like, okay, that sounds cool. What is that? And then in order to get the gym, you got to buy the course.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Or to get the sauce, you got to buy the course.
Right.
And I was like that too with Focus Energy with my consulting businesses. I was, putting out information, and then when somebody wanted the full scope of how to do it from point A to point B or point A to point Z, they had to engage with buying my course or consulting with me for some hours in order to learn the way. I think now I'm going to move in more of a direction of telling people or telling clients and potential customers, you let me know what your goal is, and I'll show you how to get there. You see what I'm saying? To make it so that it's not about me and this course that I got or this ebook that I'm trying to push is more tailored around the people who need me for whatever my brain or whatever my concepts can give them, and then I tailor that to their needs.
Right. You need to get yourself out of that mindset that this entire step-by-step process of how to run a business is going to work.
Throw that out the door.
Because there's no business out there that will give you a same step-by-step process that will work.
There are no templates.
There's no templates.
Yeah.
There's no way that like one business will survive in Kauai versus another business that survives in Oahu, that versus that same type of business survives in Florida
Right.
or, New York City or California, somewhere, anywhere.
Exactly.
What you have to do is take everyone's information with a grain of salt, learn from what they're talking about, dive into what they're talking about. And that's what the point of this entire podcast is.
And then on top of that, you sprinkle your own creative juices on top of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Don't copycat.
there's more people that are creative. There's more people that are stern with their business, and there's a lot of successful people in both ways that does happen. You just have to find that way for you.
100%. I agree. Like I said, say it like a true scholar. But yeah, we just wanted to tap in with you guys and let you guys know that we are out here working. We're working for you. And we're going to have a lot more coming. We wanted to interject our interviews that we post and we put up and give you a little piece of us and the journey that we're going through. And so that you can see how raw and organic these steps and processes are.
Right, exactly.
Like I said, we appreciate y'all. And what else you got for the people?
Well, like just adding on top of that, we've had this set up for, the last, 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
But time management between both of us, like with both of our business that we run, it's not easy, guys.
Right. Yeah,
It's
and I
really
just had a
not
baby.
easy.
Shout out mama, popping out my third
Hell yeah.
baby, healthy, happy. And yeah, man, we about to tap back in though.
What's your baby's name?
Amari Rose Brown.
Amari Rose Brown.
Yeah.
Amari Rose Brown is gonna see this one day. He's be like, "That's my dad, right there."
Hey, that's
know?
why I do it, baby. I do it for the future, the legacy.
Exactly. So don't get discouraged and definitely start if you haven't even started yet. There's a lot of ways that you could start, and don't focus solely on one's idea to do it.
Yep. That's one of the sayings on my merch for Focus Energy is make today the day. And just always remember that today can be the day. Any day you decide, you make today the day to make that start, to make that leap, to make that jump.
And for the people of Kauai, we'll be walking around. Definitely say hi to us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like our goal is to just provide a better entrepreneurship and support throughout the entire island.
Yep. And it's all about growth, baby.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Mahalo.
We're tuning out now and hope to see you guys in the next episode with our next guest.
Peace.